So, hello artists, welcome back to the latest in the LIAS video content stream. Today isn't a tutorial in the sense that I've been delivering up to now. This is what in trendy YouTube young people circles is called an unboxing video. So unboxing is where we look at a product that we buy and almost the way we kind of review something online. So I've ordered the wonderful and mysterious box, and I'm just opening it up with a scalpel. So anyone who's worked with us before at Rose Lane will know that we have a wonderful cast iron print and press called Kitty, and Kitty is a converted mangle with a very set pressure, very solid, very reliable, much too heavy to move around. And just at the start of lockdown, we came across a company called the Portable Print and Press Company, and I wonder if you can imagine what they sell. So finally, we ordered. They were very hit by lockdown as well. So, oh, where's Jess? Hello, Jess. She's come to help. Cats cannot resist a new box, can they? So we ordered a new print and press, and the idea was that we wanted a portable one. Now we found this product online, and actually what it is although it's portable and much lighter weight, it's actually capable of printing a bigger printing area than the press we've already got. So I'm just gonna open this, unpack it, set it up, and we'll try and take a print from it today so you can see what it does. Okay. And here she is. I need it. I really smell it. The rubber off the rollers. This kind of brand new. I think people get excited about new car smell, and this is new print and press smell. So it's quite a thing. If anyone's not, most people probably haven't looked at this kind of thing before. Your standard price, believe it or not, for a print and press goes up to about £5,000. We got this one for under £300. So we consider this to be a real resource. One advantage it offers us is, as you know, we've had to let go of the studio at Rose Lane, so this now offers us the possibility to set up classes in pop-up spaces, and we're thinking church halls, and we're thinking a variety of other spaces that we've got. So this is a huge step in the right direction for us. So we've actually got here, this is the, if you remember, Kitty's got the huge cast iron handle on the side, which is really beautiful, really elegant. This is a much more modern, pared down steel thing. And you construct this yourself, so it's very, it's kind of kit form, just screws together. The person who invented this actually is no longer with us, and she'd seen a gap in the market for what artists wanted, which was access to a printing press and the downwards pressure and the reliable nature of a printing press, and what was actually available on the market, which was this kind of ridiculously overpriced, usually antique Victorian things that often you've probably seen the ones with the giant cast iron eagle on top. Really seductive, glamorous machines, but actually, the practicality of it is what we need. Is a real machine that does this. Just by where this wheel goes on, actually, you can see as well that there's a dial at the top and there's a matching one on the other side, and these control the downwards pressure. So you can put, unlike Kitty, you can put different things through this press. So this is very useful consideration in a printing press. So the next thing actually is printing press has to have a bed, which is the plate that rolls through the rollers and your print actually sits on. What we've got here is Paul has supplied the perfect size piece of perspex. And normally you'd use wood for this, but the print and press company themselves have recommended that perspex is suitable for this model. So we've got this long piece of perspex. Now what this new toy invites us to do actually is to print as long as we want. So we could put a bed in this which was 10 meters long. So this is actually a yoga mat. On your traditional printing presses you would use felt, and the felt blankets are specifically made. So the felt blankets on Kitty, believe it or not, were 80 quid. So they're not just sheet felt, they're actually perfectly compressed so the balance is even. So we've got our press set up with the pressure. We've got the bed slid through it. We've got this softening yoga mat over the top of it, and this allows us to not have too much pressure downwards. So we have the even pressure from the rollers, but we're also protected by this softness. So just trim the end of that off so we've got exactly the right length of blanket. Now, of course, as I was saying, you could actually run a piece of wallpaper through this. You could have it as long as you wanted. So she's set up, and this is just the first roll through this. And first thing I really noticed about this is the flows much more smoothly than the one we used to. Which I don't know if it's an advantage or a disadvantage. It's almost quite satisfying to have to work against the wheel a little bit. So earlier on I'd prepared these small plates, and I just wanted to test what if we inked stuff up and put it through. And this is a set of different samples really. And I think it's important whenever you get a new tool to test it out. You don't want to go straight into making a piece of work on it. So in the traditional way, I've damped some paper and then blotted it. Just kind of lay that on top of these little samples. The samples are made from various things. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about those in a minute. So sandwich the samples inked against the damp paper, and then a sheet of paper to protect the blanket, and then the blanket, which is this wonderful kind of green colour, just allows you to roll through. It's really unusual getting used to a new piece of kit. So the new kit is actually so light that you see the whole press move there. We're not used to that either because Kitty is so heavy. Obviously she's not bolted down, she actually is portable. So the first pull, that's relatively satisfactory. The pressure seems to be okay, and you can see from here both ends have got that extra dial down to give you more pressure, which allows you to adapt a little bit. So I think the pressure is right on the press. You can see these are the samples, and we've got the 4 different variants on textures here. We've got the masking tape and PVA over it, which is actually more effective. What surprised me is that the wood knotting, which is like a shellac, holds ink more than the white back area. So that's quite a nice little subtlety. This one with the masking tape is good, but the crackle glaze, there's very little evidence of the crackle glaze doing anything, as far as I can see. And this one here is mixed carborundum with PVA, and that is relatively effective. I think it's almost like a floral shape. Whereas this one, the carborundum over the spray mount, we can see the gradient. Well, we can actually see the gradient quite clearly on the block. We see the banding where it's gone on, but we can't see any grading at all really on the print from it. So we can see the nice textures, but it's not giving us any distinct changes across. So this is just one small set of samples, but the reason I've made these is because I want to start making some bigger prints on the press, and I always want to start really with experiments to find out what a tool does. And this press is very different to the press we've already used, so it's important to get to know it again. Hopefully this will be the press that we use to deploy classes in spaces that we wouldn't normally use, because it's much more portable. So we have started to look at new spaces, things like church halls and other studios, and we hope that this is a piece of kit which will allow us to be much more flexible in response to COVID. I'm quite happy with the initial samples, and of course I couldn't leave it at that, so I just decided to play with one more sample, and I built a small set of textures, and this is built on sandpaper, which is the dark bit at the back, and then masking tape and real grass and onion netting and sellotape and glue, and they ink up, all surfaces ink up very differently, so when you put it through the press you can end up with something that wipes back in terms of how shiny the surface is. So for instance, sandpaper wipes back very differently to the sellotape I used for the moon, which wipes very clean and gives you more of a white. So you can make kind of sets of drawings on this new toy, and we will be delivering workshops on all of our print processes, including aquatint and etching and those types of things, as soon as possible. And we hope that this new printing press is part of that strategy. So what we'd like to do is to, first of all, as we know, Kitty is named after Kitty Wilkinson, who was the important kind of innovator in Liverpool, and we would like you to suggest a name for the new press. We already had a couple of interesting names. Next month we're going to pull the names that you guys have come up with out of a hat, and the one who names the new press and tells us why will win the first finished print that we pull off the press. It's just another way to keep us all involved in this new process. Okay, so get thinking. What would you like the new press to be called?